Okay, just look at the board. I have a graph. See, just this is a specially designed graph just to discuss or to introduce maxima and minima. Okay, just have a look. I have a graph with different peaks, and see, for this graph you just call this function as f of x is equals to y. This is a graph of the function f of x is equals to y. And if you wish to find critical points as well stationary points, or you may say turning points for this, y is equals to f of x have peak points. There is a chance to call these peak points as turning points, stationary points, or critical points at x is equals to -3, comma, at x is equals to -1, comma, at x is equals to 2, and at x is equals to 4 as well, like that. Okay, it continues. Okay, this function, no problem. This function y is equals to f of x has peak points at -3, -1, 2, 4. After this peak turning, the graph is continuously increasing, so there are no peaks, and before this left side of this -3, the graph is continuously decreasing, and there are no turnings or critical points for this graph left side of this -3. Okay, right. And for this, how to mention maxima or minima? Okay, see, to mention maxima or minima of f of x, we need to fix the range of x. Okay, see, there is a chance to generate different statements from this graph. Okay, there is a chance to generate what? Different statements from this graph. I will mention one by one. For suppose if you consider total y is equals to f of x, since the graph is continuously increasing and since the graph is continuously decreasing, there is no chance to mention maximum value for f of x as x belongs to the complete real numbers. But there is a chance to say the minimum value for y is equals to f of x, because the graph is continuously decreasing and it is almost approaching x-axis. Okay, see, just the graph is like that. This is almost approaching to x-axis. That means the graph is continuously decreasing and it tends to 0. Since the graph is continuously decreasing and tends to 0, for all x belongs to R, f of x has maximum value infinity. It goes on like that. F of x has minimum value 0. When you consider all real numbers for x, when you consider the complete domain of the function, f of x has maximum value infinity and f of x has minimum value 0. Instead of considering total real values for x, you need to bound x values to an interval. For suppose here I have number 1, okay, and okay, we just have a look. Here I have some 6. Okay, so if I consider the interval from 1 to 6, then what you say about the maximum value or minimum value for this function? Okay, for x belongs to the interval 1 to 6. For x belongs to 1 to 6, at x is equals to 1, maybe the graph starts here, and the graph, see, you just look at trace the graph. This is graph and it is decreasing, then it is increasing, and maybe at 6 this is the point. And the graph is continuously increasing and then decreasing, again taking a turn at 4 and it is again increasing. When you trace the shape of this graph, at x is equals to 2, it has maximum value, and at x is equals to 4, it has minimum value. So for x belongs to the interval 1 to 6, f of x has maximum value. What is the maximum value of x? That maximum value occurs at 2, and at 2 the point is 2, 10. That means at x is equals to 2, the function value is 10. So f of x has maximum value 10 at x is equals to 2. Okay, and one more thing, f of x has minimum value. What is the minimum value? This is the point 4 comma minus 5, right? Minimum value minus 5 at x is equals to 4. You just observe carefully. Okay, when you consider total real numbers as for inputs x, then f of x has maximum value infinity and minimum value 0. But when you consider an interval for x 1 to 6, then in that interval range maximum value of f of x is 10 and it is possible at x is equals to 2. Minimum value for f of x is equals to minus 5 and it is possible at x is equals to 4. Is it clear? So see, these maximum and minimum values what I mentioned on the board are considered as global maxima and global minima. Once again I am mentioning here what? Global maxima and global minima. Again I will give you the definitions step one by one in the next point. Okay, see, global maxima and global minima. F of x has global maxima infinity for all x belongs to R. F of x has global minima 0 for all x belongs to R. Likewise we will mention. And in the same way, f of x has global maxima 10 in the interval 1 to 6. F of x has global minima minus 5 in the interval 1 to 6. That's another way to say. For suppose, instead of considering this interval 1 to 6, if you think about the maximum value, okay, only in the neighborhood of a point. For suppose, here I have a point 2, right? You just consider a very small neighborhood of 2. I think you are very familiar with the neighborhood of 2. This is point 2 and you just consider this small neighborhood of 2. In this neighborhood of 2, if you think about the graph, this is graph, right? Neighborhood of 2 means what? See, just for the space concern I am just mentioning here, okay? Neighborhood of 2. Neighborhood of 2 means you need to consider very small interval in the surroundings of 2, like 2 minus h to 2 plus h. In this surrounding, if you check, okay, f of x has maxima 10 at x is equals to 2. Again, see, this point is maxima point only, right? Again, at x is f of x has maxima at x is equals to 10. Then here, this maximum value is considered as local maxima. You just look at the word local maxima as well as global maxima. Local maxima in the same way, local minima, the words are considered only if you think about maxima and minima in a neighborhood of a point 2. Since in the neighborhood of 2, we are just thinking about the maximum value of the function, so we say that f of x has local maxima 10 at x is equals to 2. Okay? Global maxima and global minima exist in an interval. Okay, whereas local maxima and local minima exist at a point. At a point means in the neighborhood of that particular point. Okay, for suppose if you think about the neighborhood of minus 1. In this neighborhood of minus 1, this is the function. So in this small region of surroundings of minus 1, this is the minimum of the function. So we will say that f of x has local minima at x is equals to minus 1 and it is 2, not 2, minus 2, because it is there. See, below x axis we need to take y value as minus 2, right? And that local minimum value is minus 2. Once again you just look there. From this graph what I am trying to insist you is the words where we need to use global maxima, global minima, as well the words where we need to use local maxima and local minima. Okay, what is meant by maxima, what is meant by minima, as well what is meant by global maxima and what is meant by global minima. These words I am trying to insist for you. Just have a look. When you think about maxima and minima of a function in an interval or in the complete domain of x, we will use global maxima and global minima. But when you think about the maxima and minima of a function only in the neighborhood of a point, then in that case we consider it as local maxima and local minima. Once again, in the neighborhood of 2, the function has maximum value 10 at 2. So local maxima for f of x at x is equals to 2 and it is 10. In the neighborhood of minus 1, if you think, the function f of x has local minima at x is equals to minus 1 and that minimum value is minus 2. Whereas when you think about the interval 1 to 6, see this, you just trace the graph. When you trace the graph, see this is the upper peak point and this is the lower peak point. At this upper peak point, the function has maxima and that maximum value is 10. So we say that the 10 is the global maxima for the interval 1 to 6 at x is equals to 2. In the same way for the interval 1 to 6, this minus 5 is the global minima at x is equals to 4. Okay, I think this is clear for everybody. The words related to global maxima, global minima, as well the words related to local maxima and local minima. Okay, again from the same graph, I will give you some more observations. All these are different observations from the graph. You just observe the graph and write all these statements one by one. Okay, because of the space I am just mentioning like this. But below this graph, you need to mention all observations one by one. Okay, see, just I am using this graph to explain you about global maxima, global minima, local maxima, local minima, as well minimum points and maximum points. Okay, and from fourth point onwards, I will give you definitions and problems step by step, one by one. Okay, you just have a look. So likewise we will find global maxima, global minima, local maxima, local minima just by observing the graphs. Okay, local maxima, local minima exist in the neighborhoods of a point. Global maxima and global minima exist in an interval or in the complete domain. So here I considered that interval 1 to 6, right? For suppose I am going to consider one more interval. You just have a look. Just a minute. Okay, first suppose you just consider this particular interval. Okay, that interval is some minus 4 to 3. So we need to think about global maxima. Since I am just considering an interval from minus 4 to 3 for this function, then automatically we need to use the word global maxima and global minima. Actually, particularly if the question asks you to differentiate global and local, we will use the words. But sometimes the question don't give you confusion about those words. Directly they ask you to find maxima and minima, then there is no tension, that just use the words maxima and minima instead of global and local. But as a first class, I am just trying you to give the difference between local and global. Okay, right. Okay, first suppose if I have an interval x belongs to minus 4 to 3. In this particular interval, I need to find out the maxima or minima. See, minus 4 to 3. In this minus 4 to 3, you just trace the graph. This is the graph, right? So in this minus 4 to 3, if you trace the graph, what is your maximum value? Your maximum value, see at minus 3 we have one peak point, minus 3, this is the trace of the graph, right? At 2 we have another peak point. So for x belongs to minus 4 to 3, f of x has maxima at x is equals to 2 and it is 10. Is it right? And it is 10. At x is equals to 2, the value is 10. What to say about the minimum? What to say about the minimum value for that function? Clearly this point is the lowest value of f of x, minus 2 is the least value of f of x. So we say that f of x has, okay, right, minimum value, f of x has a minimum value at x is equals to minus 1 and it is minus 2. Okay, at minus 1 the value of the function is minus 2, so minimum is at minus 1 and the value is minus 2. Okay, so this is the way of mentioning maxima and minima in an interval. Okay, look at the board. I have another graph now. See, for this graph I need to mention maxima and minima at some values of x, and since we are mentioning an interval, that maxima and minima are global maxima and global minima, that's another thing. See, the interval is from 0 to 6. So this is 0, x0, and this is x6. So from 0 to 6 we need to pay our attention on this graph. So you just trace the graph first. This is the trace of the graph. Just we need to consider from 0 to 6, not up to 7. Maybe this turning is at 7, but we need to think about the graph only up to 6 only. Okay? So we need to trace the graph from 0 to 6. In this trace of the graph, f of x has maxima at x is equals to. Where this f of x has maxima? See, in this complete trace of the graph, this is the maximum point. At this point, if you think, for suppose this point is the value of x at which f of x has maxima. So f of x has maxima at x is equals to 3.5. Simply I am saying. Okay, roughly. Whereas what is the minimum value of the f of x? At what point the minimum value exists? F of x has a minimum at x is equals to what? See, actually in this trace of the graph, this is the lower peak point, but see, this is the lower peak point and this may be the minimum value at the surroundings of 1, but since the interval is 0 to 6, at 6 the graph is here, the functional value is here. At -1 the functional value is here. Many of you made a mistake here by considering that the minimum value exists at x is equals to 1, but for this region of 0 to 6, minimum value for this function exists at what? At x is equals to 6, not at x is equals to 1. Because at x is equals to 1, this is the functional value, but at x is equals to 6, this is the functional value. Since we are searching for the minimum, so at x is equals to 6, we have minimum value. So from this, what I am trying to conclude you is, minimum or maximum not only exist at the peak points, but also exist at the end points of an interval. That in the sense, to find either maxima or minima for a function, we need to check along with the peak points and points of the interval also. Okay? See, to explain that particular thing, I just gave you this particular example. Have a look. Okay, look at one more example. You just take it as 3c. Okay, see, for this 3c, just when you observe the graph at this particular point 1, I am just mentioning these numbers roughly, okay, just to analyze the situation. Okay, see, at 1, since the point is 1 comma 5, at 4, if you look at, you may say the point is 4 comma 7, because this height is somewhat lesser than this height, right? So if you consider this length as 5 units and this length as 7 units, take it as 4 comma 7. At 1, this is the maximum. Since at 1, that in the sense in the surroundings of 1, this is maximum. So there is a chance to say local maxima at x is equals to 1 is 5. Is it right? Just observe the statement. Local maxima at x is equals to 1 is 5. And when you observe at x is equals to 4, here the curve is lower peak, right? Local minima exist. Local minima at x is equals to 4 is 7. Because in the surroundings of 4, the function f of x has minimum value 7. Okay? Because if you consider the surroundings of 4, this is the graph. So at this point, the function has minimum and the minimum value is 7. See, when you observe these two statements, local maxima is 5, local minima is 7. Local maxima is 5, local minima is 7. But that local maxima is at x is equals to 1, this local minima is at x is equals to 4. Right? Usually many of you will think that minima value is always lesser, maxima value is always greater. That means for a function, if you note maxima and minimum values, always maximum value is more than minimum. That's the usual idea all we have. But when you think about local maxima and local minima, there are some functions where the local minima value is more than the local maxima. It all depends on the nature of the function. Right? So when you think about local maxima and local minima, there are some situations where local minima is more than local maxima, and there are some functions where local maxima is less than local minima. Okay, right. So from this point I am trying to conclude you that particular statement, right? Okay, just have a look. And in the next class I will discuss the conditions and different problem solving rules to find maxima and minima for different functions. Okay, have a look. I think from this class it is clear for everybody about global maxima, global minima, and as well local maxima and local minima. If you have any doubts, just mention now.